Why are some people just so good at spotting birds? Like they see them or hear them way before anybody else does. Well, one of those reasons is because they have tuned their listening to some of the most subtle, quiet, and nondescript sounds that the birds make. And it's totally possible for you to do that too. It's just that in our modern world, we tend to focus on the loudest, the noisiest, the thing that's the most distracting or most calling of our attention, rather than on those things that are just below that level. And so today, during the Mindful Bird Sit, we're going to focus on a technique that will help us to tune in to those subtle sounds in the world around us. Hey there, thanks for joining the Mindful Bird Sit. My name is Christy, and I help people connect deeply with birds and nature while boosting their skills, elevating their confidence, and helping them to fall more in love with life. If that's something that you'd like to do, please subscribe and stick around. You can also check out my new bird lovers community called The Roost. All right, let's get started. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to blend two different practices. One is going to be, and they're two of the most common that we always do, owl eyes and listening with deer ears. And we're going to focus more on our ears today. So definitely have yourself somewhere. If you are inside, if you could crack a window, that'd be great. It's okay. This one's going to be fine if you do want to just use the indoor sounds around you. It's okay if it's so cold you don't want to open your window. So we will be focusing on our ears, and then we'll be doing some practice with owl eyes that we haven't done before, just to learn to kind of expand our vision some. So we'll start with that, and then I'll lead us into a practice that will help us to focus more on the quiet sounds, because I think in our world today, we tend to get distracted, I'd say, and our attention is called right to those louder sounds, the busy things, the things that are just noisier, and they pull our attention away from those more subtle kind of other level sounds. So we're going to do our best today to focus on the quiet sounds. So everyone can get yourself nice and situated, nice and comfy wherever you are. And it's okay to hold a warm cup of tea in your hands if you want to. Keep yourself cozy and warm. And go ahead and feel your feet on the earth today, as if you're maybe just saying good morning to the earth for the first time. Feel that connection between yourself, even if it's the floor of your house inside. I know I'm 2 stories up, so sometimes you might have to imagine that connection there from a long distance away. And some of you might be a bit closer to the earth. So just take a moment and feel that connection between yourself and the earth this morning. And just notice if there's any emotion that arises for you, if there's a feeling or an emotion. And if not, that's okay. You don't have to have anything come up, but just if it's there, just acknowledge that, notice it. And we can start, if you'd like, you can start with your eyes closed or open, whichever one you prefer. And we'll begin down at our feet. So as we take a breath in, what I want you to do is imagine that your breath is pulling up just some loving, beautiful energy from the earth, from your toes, from your feet, the soles of your feet. So take a nice deep breath in, and you can pull up that goodness from the earth and then let it go. And then with every breath, you're going to go higher and higher into your body. So the next breath, you can pull the breath in, and you'll pull everything that you had before with some new good juju, and just pull that up into your knees now. So pulling your breath from your toes, from the earth, up into your knees, and then exhale. And then on your next inhale, again, down from your toes, all the way up now to your thighs and your hips. And with this, just imagine this beautiful healing energy, this beautiful energy coming from the earth into your body. And if there is any part of your body that's feeling stiff, maybe feeling a little unwell today, or you just would like to give it some extra attention, just imagine that beautiful healing vibe from the earth is coming, and we'll just spend some time in that area of your body. Even though we'll keep moving up in our body, you can just let a little bit of that reside. Maybe it's in your knees. Just let a little bit of that goodness. You can imagine it as a light if you like, whatever color light is one that works for you. Could be a light blue light, could be purple, whatever it is for you. So next breath in from the earth all the way up now to your lower belly. And when you get there, when your breath arrives to this place of your body, just do your best to soften that part of your body and welcome and receive. So right now we're in a place of receiving. You don't have to give. You don't have to produce anything right now. You can just receive the gift from the earth. And next breath in, you're going to go all the way up to your lungs and your chest, to your heart. Take a nice deep breath into this beautiful area of your body. And then let it go. Again, remembering that your breath on the exhale is that gift of yours to the earth. And inhaling from your feet, moving all the way up your body, now to your neck. Sending some good love to your throat, to your voice, the song that you sing in the world. And then letting that go. And the next inhale will come all the way to our shoulders and our arms, our elbows, our hands. Bringing that good energy up into our bodies now. And then letting that go, gifting the world with your breath. And the final breath in, coming all the way up, up to your head. Letting it explore your eyes, your mouth, your ears, your brain. So much goodness up in this part of our bodies. And then let it go when you feel ready. And we'll take a moment right now to just tune in to start off with to the sounds around us. So we've just connected with our own bodies, our own inner world, and now we're going to start to move outward a little bit. Again, you can have your eyes closed for this part if you like. And begin by tuning in. We'll first tune into some of the more dominant sounds. So wherever they might be on the landscape right now, go ahead and acknowledge them, find them, even seek them out. Seek out those dominant, louder sounds. And instead of trying to push them away, welcome them. We're not going to stay with them. We're not going to give too much attention to them, but you can just acknowledge them. Like you're just seeing an old friend, like, hey, garbage truck man, you know, or hey, loud crow, whoever it might be. Good. And then explore the different levels of sound. So you've identified the loudest voices on the land, and now shift to a voice that's just a little bit quieter than that one. You can seek it out. Notice how far away or how near it might be to you. And then now looking for a very quiet voice, some sound on the landscape that's really subtle and might even pass you by if you weren't actively looking for it. Good work. All right. So we'll be exploring our listening, our hearing even more today. But for now, I'm going to gently open our eyes and find somewhere out on the landscape for your gaze to fall upon. And we'll just rest in this place for a moment. It might be a tree branch, it might be the bark of, another tree, maybe like the roof of your neighbor's house, whatever it is. Let yourself just gaze at that one point. So fix your eyes on one point. And now what we're going to do is we're going to expand our vision in something that's called owl eyes or softened vision. So as you're looking at that one point, your eyes are not going to move from there for right now. We will in just a moment, actually. But for right now, we're going to stay focused on that one point and now softly expand your vision. So notice how far in the right and left, how far above and below your eyes can actually stretch. Your vision can stretch. And as your gaze starts to soften, you'll notice that you might start to pick up on some subtle movements and maybe some not so subtle movements. There might be some really dominant movements out there. And just see if you can let yourself perceive deeper and deeper into the world around you, the motions that there might be. You can let yourself just get really curious about them. And you don't have to focus on them, but if you do choose to, if they spur your curiosity, you can focus on them for a moment and then come back to your softened gaze, looking back at your point again. All right, and now what we're going to do is practice just to strengthen this aspect of our vision of our owl eyes. So begin now by you're going to stay with your. We'll start out with our eyes looking at that one point that we were looking at before. But now what we're going to do is without moving your head. So imagining that like you can even if you want to put your you can put a finger under your chin and you're just going to turn your eyes all the way to the left. You're not going to turn your head, just your eyes. And look as far as you can to the left. And just notice what it is that you can see. Like, what's the furthest thing to your left that you can see right now? And just make a note of that. And then you're going to bring your eyes back to center, still not moving your head. And see if you can see that whatever it was that you had noticed that was to the furthest left, can you see that now? Can you stretch to see whatever that was? And some may be able to, and some maybe not. But your eyes are looking forward, though you're stretching your gaze to the left and seeing how far you can see in that direction. Good. And now we're going to do the same thing to the right. Again, if you want to, you can put a finger under your chin just to make sure your head doesn't move. And you're going to move your eyes, not your head, but your eyes over as far to the right as they can possibly go. And just notice what it is you see over there. And now bring your gaze back to the center and see if you can actually see that. Can you see whatever it was you noticed when your gaze was turned more to the right? And now we're going to do the same thing and we're going to go above. So you can put your finger under your chin if you want to. And your eyes are going to stretch up as far as they can look. This is actually a really good eye exercise, by the way. This kind of eye stretching, especially if you're someone that looks at the computer all day. So stretch your eyes up as far as they can see and notice what you see up there. What's the furthest thing you can see above you? And then when you've got that, you can come back to center. And now see if in your softened gaze, looking forward, looking ahead, if you can still see what it was that you noticed above you. Good work. All right, and we'll do our final one. So again, you can put your finger on your chin if you want to, or under your chin, holding your head in that one position. And your gaze is going to move downward now. So as far below you as you can see, what's the furthest thing down below you that you can see? It might even be a part of your own body. And then you can bring it back to center. And now when you're looking with your softened gaze, see if you can notice that as well. And now what we're going to do is incorporate all of that. So remembering all of those elements of the world around you that you noticed in each direction, and see if you can perceive them or pick them up all at the same time. So you're staying with your head straight ahead, and you're also looking to the right, the left, above, and below all at the same time. And I'll let you just do this in silence for a moment or so. Okay, good work. So you might even start to feel that your whole body just softens. You can just stay in this gaze. Allow yourself just to get taken away with it if you'd like. Don't feel like you need to control anything right now. Let yourself stay nice and soft. Your vision may even become blurry. And just let it go. And as you're in this gaze, this softened vision, again, if you see something and you get curious, you're welcome to look at that, of course. And keep, as much as you can, keep bringing yourself back to owl eyes throughout this practice. Because now what we're going to do is shift our attention to our ears. And let's begin first, like we did a few minutes ago, by acknowledging those loud sounds. So the sounds that are the most dominant on your landscape right now, just welcome them. You know, you're meeting a friend you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, hey, HVAC unit, hey, heating system, hey, refrigerator, whatever it is. Hey, barking dog. Just acknowledge those loud sounds right now. All right. And now that you know who's there, who's around you, we're going to shift our attention and stay in this as often as we can, as much as we can. This is the mindful part of our practice today. We're going to be listening for, it doesn't have to be the softest sound, but just a soft sound. So a sound that's almost imperceptible. And what I want you to do is keep your attention coming back to that soft sound. So if you find that your attention fades or it goes to something else, like maybe you see a cool bird or something, then just do your best to bring it back to the quietest sound or the quiet sound that's out there. So I'm going to let you stay in silence for the next few minutes while you continue to listen for that quiet sound. And again, you can stay in owl eyes if you want to, or shift, whatever you prefer for your vision. Good work, everybody. So, some may wonder why we are doing this, why we focus on these quiet sounds. And it's because I believe it's possible for everybody to hear the subtle sounds on the landscape, whatever it is for your sense of hearing. But we can all hone that skill a bit more, the one that makes the really good birders, the people who can like listen and hear those birds that are hiding in the bushes, hear those little chip notes, right? It's a matter of turning our attention away from the dominant sounds, the loudest sounds, and shifting over to those subtle, quiet, almost imperceptible sounds. And so we'll let ourselves go back there again. Go back to listening for those quiet sounds. You don't have to stay with just one, but just continue to look for where are the quiet sounds on the landscape right now? How many can you pick out? All right, we'll stay in silence again. Good work, everybody. Probably really settled in right now. So, You can take a moment now, just allow all the sounds, all the sights to come into your awareness. You don't have to turn anything away. Just welcome them all and you can let your gaze, it already was soft, I'm sure, but just allow your gaze just to come back to a normal gaze, your ears to be listening as they normally would, and just notice what that's like for you right now. Okay, lovely. So take the next moment or two and offer blessings or gratitude to whatever, whoever it was that you connected with this morning. All right. Well, as always, thank you for coming. If you need to head out, that's totally fine and great. Appreciate you being here. And for those that want to stay for our chat afterward, it tends to be a very nourishing time. So, who would like to kick us off and start and share whatever it was that might have come up for you during our session this morning? Yeah, Jackie, please.
Um, so I came out here. Uh had uh I was not I was kind of mad at somebody. And I knew this would calm me down. And uh and what's so wonderful is that by the end of it, when we came back to our quote regular senses, everything just seemed more vibrant or glowy. Well, it is glowy here right now. There's still some leaves left, and it's just so beautiful. And yeah, just feeling a lot of gratitude. And the softest sound I could hear was a little bird fly. I could hear the wind in their wings just flying over my head. And then for a bird sound, it's the juncos when they make that sweet little beep. I don't know. I haven't learned it yet. Um, but that was just wonderful. And the other thing I was telling these friends of mine about the bird sit and everything. And I was just saying, it's not really about identifying birds. It's about increasing your awareness and nature and in general. And I described where you'd give prompts and say, like, so pick a point in the distance and focus on it. And then just try to see as far as you can without moving your eyes, and let it blur. And my friend said, gee, that sounds like an owl.
No way! That's awesome. I love that. You're like, huh, that's interesting.
They are nature lovers as well. And one of them I've done tracking classes with and stuff. But
Oh, cool.
so they may be joining us, who knows? But
Great. Yeah, anybody's welcome. That's awesome.
yeah, they're awesome people. So I wouldn't invite anybody who we wouldn't all feel very comfortable with.
Thanks, Jackie. Yeah, yeah, your friends are definitely welcome.
Thanks.
Well, thanks for your sweet story this morning and your sweet, subtle sounds. Yeah, it's so, oh man, to be able to hear birds' wings. Like, of course, there's some that are like obvious, like, I mean, it's still cool though. Like, I was thinking, like, has anyone ever heard of swan, like swan wings before? That is like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy wild. But they're really loud, So like when you hear them go by, it's like really obvious. But when you can hear the little birds sound, like wing sounds, oh my God, because they have to be so close to you too. And it's just one of the sweetest experiences. So I love that you got to have that today, Jackie. Thank you. Awesome. Who else would like to share? Yeah, is that you, Linda? I can't tell if it's a hand up. Okay, yep, got it. Okay, sweet. Go for it. Should I give you the button? Hold on, I can give you the. There you go. Can you see it?
Yeah, there. Can you hear me? Oh, good.
Okay.
I don't
Yep.
know what's with my phone this morning, except it's really cold out here today. It's about 23 or 24. But anyway, that was just wonderful. Um, just briefly, I had a wonderful gift at the end of it. I mean, I felt when we came back to listen to all the sounds and welcome them all, I thought, oh my God, what a wonderful blend of human and car sounds and birds and roosters and dogs and me moving and my cats in the house. And then out from underneath my car, which is parked right out in front of me here, um, walks a robin. He just came out, hopped out. I haven't seen robins in a month and a half. They all leave. Mostly, most of them leave. So I have not seen a robin at all. So I don't know. I just felt like it was just a wonderful gift. The robin just pops out, and I could hear the little goldfinches in a distance, and the juncos too. I have juncos for the really quiet sound, and I could hear them underneath, and um, all of the blue jays and the magpies that I have. There's a lot of blue jays and magpies, and they always have something to say about everything. So, but the little goldfinches and juncos were in the background. So, and when we blurred we stretched our vision,
Yeah.
and then came back. I saw things when I stretched my vision, like over to the right here, I could see the other post on my porch. But when I looked straight ahead and tried to keep my vision ahead and use owl eyes to see over there, I couldn't see it. But a bird flew right beside it, and I saw the movement. So
Yes.
I didn't see the pole, but I saw the movement. And the same thing on the left happened. I found this big Doug fir tree on the left when I really stretched my vision. But when I went back to owl eyes looking straight ahead, I couldn't make out that tree. But again, I saw movement of a bird. So that was very encouraging. Now I know. I knew there was something there. I just couldn't make it out. But then when something moved there, I thought, bird, bird. So anyway,
Yes.
that was that
Nice, Linda.
that's helpful to know that that I can kind of rely on what I'm seeing when I'm in owl eyes if I can't quite make it out, but the movement is there.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Yeah. And most people won't be, I mean, because obviously we did turn our eyes, so we can actually see more when our eyes are turned than when they're
mm-hmm,
looking ahead. But it's just the practice of getting ourselves to like stretch and just see like how far can I really go in either direction. And
mm-hmm.
again, it's like I mean, physical muscles, but like sort of mental muscles as
Yeah,
well that we haven't practiced, that we just can practice, trying to stretch them and expand them so that, you'll be, it happens to me all the time. Like I'm typing at a computer and I'm like, "Phew," like it's can be hard to get work done some days. Luckily, like there's not many birds around right now, so I can get more done.
yeah,
But yeah, in some ways these skills are blessings and they can be, I don't, curse is too harsh of a word, but it can be distracting for sure,
mm-hmm,
especially when you do start to tune yourself into the subtle sounds. Then, if you were someone that could like fall asleep to anything, when you start to hear these subtle sounds, it's like, you'll hear like the little ticking sound from your heater or something like in the next room might, so sometimes I have to sleep with earplugs in so I don't hear anything, you know, because it's just, but I don't want to turn that skill off, you know, because I
Yeah.
do love having that for the times that I want it and need it, but at the same time, like sometimes it can be a detriment if you like
Need
camping.
to get some sleep.
You just need to get some sleep sometimes, you know? You just
Yeah.
don't want to hear everything at night.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks for your,
thank you very much.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely. Sweet. Anyone else have a story they want to share or just your experience from this morning? Yeah, Anne.
Well, I wasn't too pleased with the snow this morning at all. It is no, but this brought me back to an appreciative moment that this isn't going to last long and my highs will be in the 50s, but we still have leaves on the trees. So as I'm sitting here and I've got a bush full of house sparrows that are very loud. And, but I'm watching like when the wind comes, I have and leaves, snow and leaves. And it just was, it's like, just appreciate today. My husband's home, so as I was sitting here, I've got the window cracked. I could hear the wood stove open, and then I smelled the fresh wood smoke come in. So it was like, all right, this is just a snowy day. Put on your boots and hats and feed the birds. So, but Chrissy, with your earphones when you sleep, I can't sleep with earphones because I hear myself breathing. You know, I hear, and I can't. It's too loud inside my body.
I know you probably, I haven't gotten them yet, but I really should invest in a pair of those noise canceling headphones. I think they even have like little earbuds that are noise canceling where like it hears the sounds and I don't know though if it would hear, it probably wouldn't hear like our own body, you know, because it's just
Yeah,
different when you block your ears and you can hear your own breath. Like I wonder if that they would work with that. I don't know. I don't
I can
know.
hear my heartbeat, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah. Wow, 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 wow. I know what you mean though. That can be really distracting. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Anne. All right, anybody else? Story, story? No? You guys okay. I thought you might, Anne Marie. I could feel something over there.
I'm going to take the video off, so hopefully it won't break up.
Perfect.
It's cold and windy here in Maryland, so, but I could hear the little potato chip American goldfinch still in flight, chittering around, and my bluebirds are flying all over the place and making noise, and they're more of a little rattle that they do when they're upset with maybe other friends. So not necessarily their call, but I hear that some too. And then had the Juncos in flight around. Actually heard a raven go over while I was doing the owl eyes, and that it went over and I could hear it. But before that, I'd heard the Blue Jays complaining very loudly. So I was like, okay, that's why they're upset. So, but I liked how much more. I think it was like Jackie had said, after we came back, everything was more enhanced. And I could still hear all the little things that I'd been listening to, as well as the new things that I allowed to come in. So I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I find that too. I think it happened for me during one of like it was more for like the owl eyes when we stretched in one direction than the other and then I was looking straight, it was just like everything got, it was almost like wavy, you know, like all of a sudden like the what was in front of me just got like really wavy and um but it was again it's just sort of like being able to experience these other ways of being in the world, you know, and ways that aren't dominant in our culture and uh, but connect us with something that's just can be magical and can be really beautiful and wonderful and the more and more we do it, the easier it is. Like every time we do one, and think about this, you guys. Some of you have been here since I started this, which was like almost like 3 years ago now, I think. So I don't know, what is that like? How many weeks? How many? Yeah, it's like how many of the weeks in a year? It's like 4 times 12, whatever that is, and then times three. What's that number? Like, how do you, it's like 4 times 12 times 3. Do you guys know? I can't hear you, Anne. You're
There's
muted.
52 weeks in a year.
52 weeks in a year times 3. So it's almost like 150, let's just say, right? So ish. It's about 150. So you've had 150 days of practice, and that's something. That really is something to practice something like this, to keep honing your skills, to keep going. And it's not just that you do it just here, just, on Monday mornings. I know you all do it other times as well. And so, and just think of like, yeah, I don't know. I'm really impressed, I guess, with folks who do this and tune yourselves in this way. And for me, I know it changed my life. And, just this morning I was working here on the computer, and then I heard this call outside, and I was like, I think that's some kind of a hawk. And it was in the distance, but like I ran running, I just like put everything down, just like booked it outside. I was like listening for a second, and it only made like 2 more calls, and then it was gone. I didn't hear it again, but it's just fun. I think it just makes life so fun. We can be a part of the rest of the world. We don't have to be separated from it. And yeah, I feel really lucky in that way. In all of our senses, all of our, whatever, it's a felt sense too. And actually, this leads me into, I think some of you might have seen it in the Roost. I just posted the announcement, I think yesterday, about the next monthly gathering for the Roost. We're going to have Joshua Lisbon, who was the star of the new PBS documentary Willow, Diary of a Mountain Lion. So Joshua is going to come on and speak with us, and he and I had like a 2-hour conversation already. It was just awesome. And so much of it was just about like also about being able to know that there's animals around by feeling them. And so I have a sense that our conversation is going to go really deep, because both Joshua and I see the world in a really similar way. And so, and I was telling him, I was just like, a lot of my students have been practicing this stuff for a long time. So they're going to be, they're hard. He's like, I don't usually talk about this with most people because most people either don't get it or haven't practiced enough to really understand what I mean when I talk about this kind of stuff. And I was just like, well, my folks are a little different because they've been practicing. So anyway, I think you guys are gonna love that talk with him. And yeah, and it's open, like I'll be interviewing him, but also like anyone can ask him questions. So I think it's gonna be a really rich conversation. So anyway, keep your eyes peeled for that if you haven't seen it already. It's in the Roost. I posted it, and make sure you click going on the little button so it'll send you the reminders about it and the link and everything. So yeah, I'm just really stoked about it. And be sure to watch the movie. There's a little link in there about the documentary, so you can watch that before the session with him. Alrighty? Yeah, I know. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be so cool. And he also talks about like, I was like, all right, mountain lions are awesome, but like, can we tie this into birds too? And I was like, do you ever use bird language, to find the lions or whatever? And he's like, I totally do. So we'll get to hear some of his bird language stories as well. So yay. All right, you guys. Yeah, Gabrielle, did you want to say something? Sure, go for it. Oh, let me give you the button. Hang on. There you go.
Sorry, I'm having um, trouble with my new phone, so I'm a little slow today. But this talk that you're talking about, is there a way I can see it without being in the roost?
Yes, there is. There is anyone, I'm gonna send out an email to like all non-Roost members today. That's my goal, is to get it out today, and there'll be an invitation for that. It is for the Roost members, it's free, but for non-Roost members, there is a small fee for that, but anyone is welcome to attend. So yeah, I'll send an email out today about that.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
And I wanted to say about today, one of the sounds that really surprised me was, I have a canal behind my house and a lot of birds that go there, but I heard something like a water sound that like either a bird had landed. I didn't see it. I just heard it. And it was such a surprise to hear a sound I don't hear very often.
Wow. Was it like that kind of a thing? Or like what was when you say water, can you imitate?
No, it was more like if you throw a rock in water, that kind of sound.
Yeah. Wow. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and I know that in the past during the night, I've heard the water like this really weird sound, and I've gone out there and I can't see because it's dark,
Yeah.
and I found out there's these like jumping fish that
Ah.
that live in this canal. The canal is connected to the ocean.
Okay.
It's an
Okay.
overflow canal. So, but that was so interesting to hear the water sound. It was like, oh yeah, water. There's water right there. Yeah,
Oh, I love that. I
yeah,
love when that happens, when we can you really get to another layer, you start to experience other parts of the world that often would just pass us by because everything else that's louder. And so how sweet that you got to be tapped into the water today. That's a big part of your life there, in that canal.
yeah. And I was going to say about your speaker and about feeling an animal.
Hmm.
When I was on my journey a month ago in Holland,
Yeah.
I went to a place that was a childhood place, like a park. And I don't know if this was just a memory or if I could feel it, but I told my cousin who was with me, I said, there are deer here. I know there are deer here. And he goes, no, there's no deer here. And sure enough, there were deer in the park. And it was like I felt them before I saw them. It was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, we will be talking about that. I love that you had that experience, Gabrielle. That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing and well done, well done being able to have that felt sense, practicing all these things that you do just in your own way.
Well, and I love taking these practices when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
It's just, because it's new territory and yeah.
Yeah, but it can be familiar, it is a way, you're right. Like I find that when I do this kind of work, when I'm somewhere that I'm not familiar with, when I'm away from home or even in a different country, it helps me to feel related, helps me to feel connected to that place because I have tools, I have, I don't know, access to be able to sort of have communication, have a relationship with the world, out there. And so it doesn't have to be out there, it can
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
we're connected. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, and there's one more thing. Just before we stopped, the sun came out. It's been really foggy here. And as soon as the sun came out, those little sounds became louder and louder. They were
Ah,
birds, and it was just like the relationship between the sun coming out and the sounds was like magic.
yes, yes, yes. I'm so glad you had that experience. It really is like everybody else they kind of get happy or excited. It's just like we do. We're like, yeah, sun's out, Yeah. Oh, that's so great. What a sweet, sweet morning you've had. I love
Thank you.
hearing all that. Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Anyone else before we go? I want everyone's voice to be heard. Yeah, Jackie, go ahead.
Is there a meeting tomorrow with one of the various things that I'm signed up for?
I know, right? I don't think so, but let me double check. I think we had our master's thing last week. Let's see. Yeah, there is nothing this week until the tea and treats on Sunday, and then next bird sit, and then Joshua's thing next week. So that's all I have
Okay.
on my. And then we do have and then so yeah, we'll have Joshua's thing on the 19th, and then we do have a master's session on the 20th. It's the day right after. So if you come to all those events, we'll see a lot of each other that week.
That's
So,
great.
yeah, I'm
Thank
just
you.
planning on doing. Yeah, you guys bet. All right, Susie, you have your hand up. Yeah, go for it.
Is ID Anybird anywhere? Is that over?
That's over. Yeah, it was just for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I keep saying that I'm gonna just mostly because now I have Joshua and I've been planning all his stuff. But I will be planning something else for us, likely on Wednesday mornings. I'm just not, it's probably going to be a drawing thing. That's the thing I'm most inspired by. But you guys tell me, like, honestly, put in the roost, like, let me know what you guys would like to spend like 4 or 5 weeks doing. Also, knowing the holidays are coming up, but that can also be a cool thing. It can be nice to have like a focus, because if it could just be like a short session, we could do like we do with tea and treats. It could be a 30-minute session, it could be an hour session. But whatever it is that you want to learn right now or you want to maybe focus on, just pop it into the roost. And whoever starts that thread, maybe everyone else can just add to that. It can be kind of like an ideas thread that we can just get going. And because I'd love to hear what people think. And do check the roost out because I think I'm going to start doing like a reminder that gets sent. Anyway, it's a long story. I really want because it's not in my forefront. Sometimes I even forget. I'm like, oh yeah, check the roost. And I'm like, we need something to like remind us to go in there and check it out because it doesn't tell us when someone posts like a new comment or something. And anyway, so I think I figured out a way to remind us to get in there. But yeah, do pop in there today because there's been some new posts and some of them are really fun. Like Lauren, our new student, she's has a cool mystery out there. And anyway, just some fun stuff. And yeah, go check it out. And I think that's it. All right, y'all. I'll see you soon. Yeah, Julia, did you have something? Or is that just good?
Just a question, are you going to have his presentation recorded?
Yes, Joshua is going to be recorded, and then for Roost, it's going to be available for like I think in like at least 9 or 10 days. But for Roost members, it will always be in our recording, so we will have that in perpetuity. But the sort of the general public who just kind of pays to come, they'll have the recording for like I don't know, it'll be like 9 days or something like that, and then it will come down.
Yeah, it's
But yeah,
always, the time is always.
I know. Yeah, yeah. If you can't, yes. So it will be recorded, so you can definitely come. And if there's anything like after you watch the documentary, if you have a question you would like to have asked, just send that to me. You can even, what would be helpful is actually if you put it as a comment underneath the announcement about it. So in the roost, there's an announcement about it, and just put it like in the comments, just say, "Hey, I can't be there. Can you ask Joshua this question?" If you have something that you would like me to ask him, and I can do that for you. Okay. Yeah, great question. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye,
You
y'all. Have a great day.